Yo, greetings, beautiful gamers. Oh, that's a fucking dumb way to start it. I've been crunching numbers just now. I have a notepad open, calculator open, and I've been trying to figure out how dealing damage in this game works. Because it seems pretty simple, but I think there's more going on in the background than I initially expected, because I was trying to practice weekend combos with Batman. And the damage I was dealing felt weird. It didn't feel like I was right. So I did a little bit of testing, and I'm gonna visually show it, what I think is going on, but the theory might be incorrect, right? Jab does 2 damage. I'm gonna do jab, like, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. 2 times 10 is 20, obviously. Now I'm going to equip Wildcat Brawler, which makes me deal 5% increased damage with many attacks on the ground. I equip it, and now we do it again. So far damage looks to be the exact same as we reach a number 7, 8, 9, 10. And now that we're at 10, he has taken 21 damage in total instead of 20, even though all my jabs were dealing 2 damage up to that point, except the last one, which was dealing 3 damage instead. Let me get some water, hold on. Excuse me, sorry. Alright. The last jab has dealt 3 damage. So what I think is going on is, let me get the... There we go. What I think is happening right now is that the 5% damage increase is being applied to the jab, which you just do by doing this. 2 times 1.05, and the 05 means 5%. The jab is now dealing 2.1 damage every time, but I think this game has a decimal health system, kind of like Smash Ultimate, where it's behind their health, but in this game it doesn't show you. So what I think is going on is, once the numbers have been rounded up with the damage you've dealt, it will actually show. So 2.2, let's say I say, hey, 2.1 plus 2.1. I did 4.2 damage on my second jab. 6.3 on the next jab, and it kind of goes from there, see? And boom. When I did my 10th jab in calculator, my combo in calculator, it dealt 21 damage at the end, after I did it 10 times. So the game is rounding up numbers, but something strange is happening, and this theory seems to hold up true, because this is the exact damage he's dealt, but I think it depends on the multiplier, because when I tried to test this with Weekend, I had some weird results, to say the least. I was trying to figure it out, and I have a notepad open, which I'll show you afterwards. But first, let's show it to you in game what it looks like. 3 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, 5 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, 5 damage. It doesn't seem all too consistent. It hasn't reached a consistent level of damage yet, in that time we've dealt damage. So I was trying to do the math on what's actually happening, and in theory, what I think is going on right now is that here's a notepad. What I think is happening is, the moment you apply weakens, the game will already calculate the increased damage you deal with this weakened buff. And with this formula, 28 damage. Let me show you something. Oops! When you click on the game, it doesn't attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times. He has 28 health and max attack of weakens. Now we go to the notepad again. The first attack did 3.3 damage. It was multiplied by 10 not by 10, whoa, that would be very strong. Multiplied by 0.10 decimals for the attack. And the more weakened stacks I have, it'll be multiplied by another 0.1. So 0.2, 3.6, 0.3, 3.9, and 0.4, 4.2. But I thought it would also go to the max stack of 4.5, but I don't think that happens, because if I try to calculate 4.5 in this formula, it doesn't make sense. Because I did all this damage to him, it becomes 19.2. And then the next hit will do 4.2 plus 19.2, and then it's 23.4 damage he has taken when he reaches that number. So let me show it again. 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, he has 23 health now, see? Which is interesting, because in this formula, he has 23.4 damage taken. And Now, if I deal 4.2 damage on him again because of my max stacks of weaken, he now has 28 health. And the only way I can explain this is by it rounds the damage up. Because 90.2 health becomes 23.4 health if you add the damage of his up attack after you can apply with no same move proration. And now you put it on top of it again, and you get the damage shown is 28. But in actuality, it's 27.6. Which is kind of weird to me, because I'm not sure what rule dictates why it would show 28 even though he has 27.6 damage. I think it's rounding it up, but it's confusing because in our previous example of the jab, right? If the same rule would apply to this, he would have already taken 13 damage on the 6th jab. It would show 13 because it's the same. It's like 12.6. But no. What we got instead, it kept showing round numbers and then suddenly show 21 on the 10th jab. I'm not too confident on what the exact rules are, but I think if the damage is high enough, because look at this formula, right? Damage is pretty high. If the damage is high enough and damage dealt exceeds a certain point, it will round it up. I think. It's my guess. Because now he has taken 28 damage. And now it's... Wait a moment. There's now 28 damage. We're gonna replicate this again. 23, 28. 28 damage. 28 damage! He now has 28 damage taken. And the actual damage in the formula is 27.6, which I've calculated before I started making this video, or else this video would be way too long. So you'd think, wow, if it's rounded up like this, then why won't it just show, whatchamacallit? It should show, if you add 4.2 on top of 27.6, it would become 21.8, basically. Which should mean it should round up to 32, right? And it does. And now it shows us shown as 32. We add in 12.8 plus 4.2 again, and then it becomes a round number. It becomes 35. No, 36. Sorry, I can't count. So now with our formula, it should be 36, right? Yup, exact. But then some stuff happens. Some weird stuff happens. 36, exact. And now we add plus 2 to 36, and it'll be 40.2, right? But no, now it's shown as 41. So I think I messed something up, but I am getting close. I'm not gonna prolong this video by trying to formulate more, but I think I might have missed something. Somewhere, maybe. I'm not sure what it is. It's a decimal somewhere that's making 40.2 round up to 41. But otherwise everything else here feels to be right, with all this rounding up and rounding down nonsense. But it's confusing me. I hope this is informative, but it's mostly me backing my head against the wall mathematically.